Nursing and midwifery immunization. Nursing and midwifery immunization. Immunization. Infectious diseases cause much illness, death, and may result in disabilities to a child. It is therefore important to protect a child against the common infections which affect young children. Definitions. Immunization is a process by which a person becomes protected against a disease through vaccination. This term is often used interchangeably with vaccination or inoculation. Immunity. Immunity is the ability of the body to fight against certain disease/organism. Nursing and midwifery immunization. If microorganisms enter the body again, the body will recognize them, having met them before, and quickly reproduces the same antibodies to kill them. Each kind of antibody that is reproduced matches with only one particular organism. This is why antibodies against one disease such as measles do not protect a person against another disease such as tuberculosis. Vaccines. Vaccines are substances prepared from microorganisms, bacteria, or viruses, which are live, weakened, or killed. When vaccines are given to someone, he/she develops immunity to a nursing and midwifery immunization. Antibodies. These are special proteins in a person's blood. They fight microorganisms that cause diseases or the toxins, poisons that organisms make. E.g., if a child gets whooping cough once, he does not get it again because he is immune to it. Antibodies fix on an organism and kill it. Fix to toxins and stop them from causing harm. Antitoxins. Antibodies are specific, e.g., measles. Antibodies fight strictly measles virus. Types of immunity. Nursing and midwifery immunization. They are further divided into natural immunity and artificial immunity. Active immunity. Active immunity occurs when a person makes his own antibodies against disease. This occurs in two ways. Natural active immunity, naturally acquired active immunity. Natural active immunity occurs when a person contracts a disease and the body makes its own antibodies against that particular disease-causing organism. For example, if a child contracts measles, the child's body will produce antibodies against measles virus and will be nursing and midwifery immunization. Artificial active immunity, artificially acquired active immunity. Another way to stimulate the body to produce antibodies is by administering either attenuated, weakened, or killed organisms or modified products of organisms. This occurs when a person is given certain type of vaccine. Advantages of active immunity. Active immunity is the best kind of immunity because it lasts for many years, e.g., tetanus, and in some diseases immunity lasts for life, e.g., measles. Disadvantages of active immunity. Nursing and midwifery immunization. In artificial active immunity, administering the vaccine takes time to give adequate protection. Passive immunity. Passive immunity occurs when ready-made antibodies are given to a person. Unlike active immunity, the body does not make its own antibodies. Instead, the body receives already made antibodies. There are two types of passive immunity. Natural passive immunity. This type of immunity occurs when a baby receives antibodies from its mother during the time the baby is still in the mother's womb. Nursing and midwifery immunization. For example, the measles antibodies that the child receives from the mother may be much reduced by the time the child is about 9 months old. This makes it necessary for the baby to be immunized at this age for measles to reinforce the immunity. If a pregnant mother is immunized against tetanus with tetanus toxoid vaccine, she makes antibodies against tetanus bacilli, which her baby receives as passive immunity against tetanus. These antibodies last for only a few months. That is why the baby is immunized by giving DPT vaccine to reinforce this immunity. Nursing and midwifery immunization. Advantages of passive immunity. Antibodies are ready-made and the person does not have to wait for his or her body to produce them. This usually takes a relatively shorter time than active immunity, and a person gets immediate protection to fight against infection as the antibodies are ready-made. For example, artificial passive immunity is used in treatment of neonatal tetanus when ATS is given to the neonate. Disadvantages of passive immunity. Passive immunity is short-lived. For example, children born of mothers with high antibody levels against polio disease are protected for the nursing and midwifery immunization. Receiving the antibodies has not made them himself, and there is no antigen vaccine to stimulate the body to produce more. The antibodies disappear in a few months of life and protection is lost. Also, allergic reactions can sometimes occur. For example, some people have allergic reactions when they receive anti-tetanus serum. It is advisable to give a test dose of ATS before giving a full dose. Herd immunity. Herd immunity is used to refer to the level of immunity in the community as a whole. A community is said to have herd immunity when a high percentage 70. Nursing and midwifery immunization. Nursing and midwifery immunization. Nursing and midwifery immunization. Roles of different levels of immunization service delivery. Immunization, like other health services delivered in Uganda, is a decentralized service. Central level and EPI. Policy, standards, and guidelines formulation. Technical supportive supervision to districts. Strategic planning, budgeting, and resource mobilization. Technical backup cold chain surveillance. Capacity building. Monitoring and evaluation. Nursing and midwifery immunization. Nursing and midwifery immunization. Nursing and midwifery immunization. Nursing and midwifery immunization. Frost fridge. Fill and balance / update the vaccine and injection materials control book daily. Monitor vaccine wastage, coverage, and dropout rate. Home visiting and tracking dropouts / defaulters. Timely and complete reporting. Give feedback to community on EPI performance. Provide cost-effective public announcements on EPI. Work with community mobilizers. Ensure injection safety and waste management. Nursing and midwifery immunization. Roles of community village health team members VHD. Parents / caregivers. Taking children for immunization and ensure completing the immunization. Schedule. Planning immunization services site, date, and time of routine immunization. Outreach. Monitoring performance of immunization services functionality of outreaches. Mobilizing other parents for immunization. Safe storage of immunization cards and presenting whenever they visit a nursing and midwifery immunization. Nursing and midwifery immunization. Nursing and midwifery immunization. 3. Service delivery. Plan for routine immunization and provide through static outreach and mobile services. Supplemental immunization activities is the provision of additional doses of a given antigen and vaccines to all members of the target group regardless of the vaccination status. Mop-up or catch-up immunization is one-time special activity to identify individual children or women through screening of their vaccination history and provision of vaccine doses that are due with that. Nursing and midwifery immunization. 5. Advocacy and communication. In order to increase and sustain demand for immunization services should plan for the followings: interpersonal communication, political and media advocacy campaign. IC mainly plan for production, distribution, and display materials. Grassroots social mobilization, community involvement and participation. VCC. Men involvement. Nursing and midwifery immunization. Nursing and midwifery immunization. Nursing and midwifery immunization. NB. The VVM reflects the heat stability of the vaccines to which it is attached and does not therefore undergo an immediate color change with a brief exposure to moderate heat. Cold chain system. This is a system of storage and distribution of vaccines at specified temperatures from manufacturer to the recipient where it's administered. In a potent state. Equipment used on cold chain. Cold rooms. Freezers. Nursing and midwifery immunization. Refrigerators. Cold boxes. Vaccine carriers. Ice packs. Thermometers. Safe injection. According to the WHO, safe injection is one that does not harm the recipient, does not expose the health workers to any available risks, does not result in waste that is dangerous to the community,